Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about while loop. So from my experience in teaching Python, while loop and for loop could be the most difficult part in Python because the loop you have to think about what is the loop in, think about this structure and try to imagine what happened in each loop of the program. So today we are going to talk about the concept of loop, the syntax of a while loop, and we will talk about two statements to break from the loop, and we will talk about more examples to help you understand the concept of while. Okay, so let's start. So the first example here, let's delete first. So the first example is very simple while loop here. So let's look at it with the control flow in our last lesson. So it first assigns 0 to I, and while this condition is I is less than 6. So while I is less than 6, I will do print I, and I equals to I plus 1. So it's the short, this is just the short for I equals to I plus 1. Okay, then we try to run through this graph here. So the first I is 0, and I print I is 0 here, and I is assigned to I plus 1, so then I is 1. And go back to this while loop. Then and at this time I is 1 and I is less than 6. So again, print I and I become 2. And then again, print I become 3. Again, print 3 and 4. Print 4 and become 5. And then again, print 5. And then I become 6. Then it does not satisfy this condition because I is 6 and I is not less than 6. So at this point, if we jump out of this loop and go to the next block. So let's try to run this code in Python. Okay, and we can see that at this point I become 6, and it prints out 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and not 6. So this is kind of simple to understand, right? So okay, then we're going to talk about two statements to come out or go to jump to other place in the while. So in this example, break. So with a break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. So actually at this point, so for example here, while condition, and if it run into a break here in this block, the program will directly jump to this block. So let's see. So in this example, if I equals to break, so if the program run into this break, it will directly go to line 25 and go to the other one. Let's run this code. So it only prints out 0, 1, 2, 3. So like 0, and it print I equals to 0. Then I equals to I plus 1. Then until I equals to 3, it print I equals to 3, and if I equals to 3, it will break out from this program, so that it will not continue to print 4 and 5. And for continue, if the program run into a continue, the program will stop the current iteration and continue with the next one. So for example, in this example, if I equals to it's just a similar example. So if I equals to 3, and I will do I plus 1, so I become 4, I still become 4, and continue. So if the program run into a continue, if we jump the rest part of this block. So if we jump the rest part, just skip the rest part and go back to the condition. So in here, so if we run into a block, run into continue in the block, if we jump out of this block and go back to the condition and do the condition again and continue with the next iteration. So let's try to run this code. So here, when I equals to 3, if I will set I equals to I plus 1, so I become 4, and then continue. So it will not print I. So when I is 3, it will not print out this I. So let's try to do a small trick here. If I forgot to change I, when I is 3 and I forgot to change I to 4, that's what I do in line 331. So actually, if I run this program, my computer will start here, because if I equals to 3 and it continue and I still be 3, and then I is 3, then again continue. So I did not change the loop variable, so that the computer will start into while true. So the computer will stuck in while true. Just so this short example may help you understand the concept of while. Okay, then we are going to talk about more examples here. So we will talk about use while to traverse a list and with an index as loop variable. So this is the first example here. List A is 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 55, and so it has 5 variable in this list. The size is 5, and then I will use the index 0, and I will use this index to assess the item in the list. So while index is less than 5, so it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and each time at the end of the loop body, I will index plus I will change index to index plus 1. So I will add 1 into the index. So in this, use this while and use this method. I print out every element in the list, and then for the next examples, I use, so in the last example we use 5 because we count by our hand that there's 5 elements in the list. So for example, if I want to add another variable here, and I still want to travel through all of the list, I have to change it by hand. But we can use a length function to calculate the length of the list, so that we can run through this list, run through any list with any length without counting. So this is one amazing thing of computer. Let's see. So in the second example, we print out the whole list without changing the length. So we can change the length here, and it still print out the whole list. So the most important thing about while loop is the syntax and the concept of while loop. So this is the most important thing you need to know for today's lesson.